Alright, so we pick up where we left off, and that was a Sunday, July 16th day stream. And he cleaned up this day, making $190 in tips. But when you look at it closer, you see that $182 came from 3 people, which means that in 5 hours of streaming, he made $8 from everyone else. It started with a $30 tip from Dick Trekker, a $32 tip from someone calling themselves Pug, which I found odd at the time, but we'll get back to that in a minute. A $100 tip from Dan the Man, a big baller shot caller, kind of. And then his usual daily tithe from 1 Minute Man. Now, I got curious about Pug because I'd never heard that name before, so I put my little detective cap on and went snooping.
A $32.01 tip. $32.01. Thank you very much. This is from an anonymous... No, this is from Pug. P-U-G. Pug is their name. Thank you to Pug for a very generous tip, and the biggest tip of the day so far. Okay. Oops. Cool. So this means Gunner glasses. But since we're putting them on all day, we'll put on the sunglasses for now. I'll put on Gunner glasses later. Sunglasses for hitting our $50 tips goal. Thank you to Pug. And Pug asks the following. Well, first of all, it says, happy streaming. Thank you, Pug. Would you ever consider playing Dead by Daylight? Oh, I have played Dead by Daylight. At one point, many years ago, Dead by Daylight hit Xbox One, and I actually bought it.
So Phil says it's an anonymous $32 tip, and then he corrects himself and says, no, it's from Pug. And Pug starts his tip message with, happy streaming. He then asks him about Dead by Daylight and blah, 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 who cares? But happy streaming sounded very odd to me, so I went over to the chat tracker and searched for the term. And I only got 3 hits in the last 3 years. And they all come from Redemption Games, which coincidentally, the last time this person said happy streaming, they followed it up by asking him if he planned on playing a different video game. So then we look into Redemption Games, and we see that they go by the name of Dan or Daniel. Now, it's not a secret that Redemption Games also goes by the name of Dan the Man in DSP's chat sometimes. But on a day that Dan the Man tips $100, somebody else calling themselves Pug tips $32. Uses the phrase happy streaming that nobody else besides Redemption Games has used in the last 3 years. And Redemption Games ties back to Dan the Man 100%. Now you do the math on all that. Pug and Dan are obviously the same person. Why on earth this guy feels he has to tip $32 under a fake name when he's already going to tip $100 under his actual account? I just don't get it, and since I already got the clip, let's just listen to the rest of it.
Sometimes the emails don't come through. The email didn't come through. You're absolutely right. Why didn't it? The other ones came through and not that one. But this one is, like, super duper important. How stupid. All right, well, yeah, I hope that... Actually, you know what? Before we even get to this one, Dan the Man, all right, let me check because I just want to be sure I didn't miss any other ones. There's that one. There's that. No, it looks like yours was the only one I didn't get an email for. Figure that one out. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it appears... Yes. Yes. Dan the Man has tipped me, get this, $100. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. I don't know why I even bother. I should throw those out. In fact, you know what? I don't know why I still have them, and I tried to use them. They don't work. It's stupid. What's funny is someone actually did get me the sound effect. Oh, now the email came through.
Well, maybe the emails are all fucked up because he's tipping from different accounts under fake names with the same credit card. I hope your fucking PayPal gets shut down for fraud one day, Phil. And the beauty of it is, it won't have anything to do with us. It'll be because you keep telling these people to change their names, hide their identities, hide from the trolls. I mean, this guy tipped under his real account anyways. If he had just done it all from one account, I wouldn't have suspected anything. And it's not like this has never happened before. If you saw the Timbo Slice videos, you saw that he was tipping his Chicken Man and Phil Smokes Crack on the same night. It's insanity. And I had to do an edit on the video, so when this originally happened, I went to Dan the Man's most recent video and I simply said, "Hey Pug," just to let him know that I knew. Now, he didn't respond, so I was just like, whatever. I figured I'd try one more time before I finish this video. I left a comment on his most recent upload and said, "No response, Pug?" And sure enough, he replied back and said, "Here you go, what's up?" And so I commented back and said, "Thanks for at least confirming it for me." Now, if you ever do watch this video, I want you to know all that bullshit that Phil says about what detractors and trolls are going to do to you. It's all garbage. I left a couple of comments, you replied, "That's the end of it." I hope one day you can see what Phil does and how he actually treats people and takes advantage of them. And hopefully one day you find another streamer that actually appreciates you and what you do for them and doesn't just see you as a human ATM. And we're still on the first day that we're covering, by the way. So then we go to the Sunday night stream and Phil makes $56 in tips, with 20 coming from Dick Trekker and 20 coming from Haseo. So that's $40 from 2 of the big 7 Shamus and $16 from everyone else. And even 12 of those came from quote-unquote Steve Jones. This brings us to the Monday, July 17th day stream, and Phil gets a very organic $65. And just like the day before, 50 of it comes from the tag team of Dumb and Dumber, aka Dick Trekker and 1 Minute Man. This means that everyone else contributed $15, including an anonymous $10 tipper, who Phil called a generic tipper at first before correcting himself. And these stupid people just come back to give him more money. I love it. We then go to the Monday night stream where King Dick himself finishes with $58, with $45 coming from one generic, anonymous person, and $13 coming from everyone else. I mean, if you can insult your pay pigs, Phil, then so can I. We then scoot over to the Tuesday, July 18th day stream, and my Führer finishes with $59, with 20 coming from one half of the comedy duo Dumb and Dumber, aka 1 Minute Man, and $39 coming from everyone else. Now that's a very robust variety of support, Phil, but we have a problem during this stream. And, well, I'll let Weekend at Bernie's tell you all about it.
That was my hairstyle, all right? So now, I decided, when I did my stream of the Digital Summer Party 2 weeks ago, all right? I decided that I wanted to look a little different for the party. I wanted to kind of look like a summertime vibe. So I bought that cool, like, party-style Hawaiian shirt. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get up early in the morning. Because the thing is, sometimes I'll shower in the middle of the day. And then when I go on my night stream, my hair looks kind of puffed up. And people have commented, wow, your hair looks so different at night streams. Why? And I would explain, oh, this was the day when I showered between the streams and my hair just looks like this now. This is actually the natural look of my hair when it's not wet, when it's not brushed, when it's not greased. This is what it looks like. But you guys never saw it like this because I always was brushing it back or whatever, right? So I said, for this marathon, I will do my hair a little differently. I'll wash it right before the marathon. I'll wear a different shirt. So when I did that, people commented that it looked really good. They're like, wow, why don't you do that all the time? Like, dude, you've been doing this for 15 years, and you've always had this look of a t-shirt and a freaking slicked back hair. And we get it, but I mean, you look the same for 15 years. Why not mix it up? Why not do something a little different? You actually look better. A lot of people even commented you looked more your age. Now that I don't understand. I don't think that there's looks that are associated with age of a person, but I can kind of get what people are saying. Instead of looking like the kid wearing a t-shirt or whatever, to me actually have a different kind of clothing on or whatever for the first time in years and years, looked a little different, right? I get it. I totally get it. So now what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks is every day I wash my hair before the stream. Some days I actually shower. Some days I just wash my hair right before the stream. So I have this hair all day. And as you know, I started this week, I started alternating the button-down shirts with these t-shirts. Okay? So now I look different. And that's funny because now people have started to say in the last week, Phil's having a midlife crisis. Phil is using hair product now, right? He must be using Rogaine or something, and he's regrowing his hair because his hair looks so different now. And, it's not a midlife crisis. I did something silly for a marathon. You guys liked it and said, why don't you keep doing it? Because we like it. And that's why I did it. If you guys had said to me, you look like a clown, don't do that ever again, I would have said, okay. And I never, but you guys actually commented that you liked the difference of how I was looking. I was like, all right, then I'll maybe put a little bit of effort into it.
Phil, you look like a fucking clown. What are you talking about? You've shown up on camera for how many years now? In front of hundreds of thousands of people, and you're just now deciding that you're going to put a little bit of effort into it? And look, man, I get wanting to be comfortable. If you catch me at home or just run into the store or hanging out with a friend or something, I'll be in a t-shirt and basketball shorts 99% of the time because I like being comfortable. But at work or on a Zoom call or on a live stream, in front of hundreds of people, being in your pajamas all day, it says something about you. And then he has the nerve to say it's not a midlife crisis. Well, then what the hell else could it be, Phil? He's been in his pajamas for years. Either he's having a midlife crisis or he found himself a new whore. But apparently that's not the case because Ket likes him no matter what.
Does Kat like it? She likes it, yeah. She's, she think the thing is with my wife, like, she likes me for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't care too much about, how can I say? Does she care about how I look? Of course she does, right? But at the same time, like, she just likes me for me, which is amazing to know that tomorrow, if I lose an arm, she won't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of relationship we have. Like, she doesn't give a shit. Like, we just love each other and we want to be with each other forever. So that kind of stuff doesn't matter. It's not like, oh, today you look so good, and now, oh, tomorrow today you don't look so good, Phil. It's not like that. So, I mean, she's happy that I'm doing stuff to look different on streams. I would say look better. Personally, do I think I look better? I've told you guys this. I don't have much. I don't have a good. What's the word? I don't have a good picture in my head of who I am. You know what I'm saying? What is it? I can't remember the word for it. But basically, I don't have a positive self-image in my head. I think I'll always be ugly. I don't think there's anything I could possibly do to make myself attractive. Like, I've been like this my whole life. I have this face. I have this body. You know what I mean? Even if I lost weight, which I have, by the way. And now I'm down to around 200 pounds. I've lost a lot of weight. Have you guys noticed? Because that's the thing, is that you just see me sitting in a chair. Look, I swear to God, I'm not sucking my stomach in. Look, I lost all that weight. All that chubby weight I had around me is almost completely gone. I basically stopped eating bad, and I lost all of it. So that's great, And like I say, I've been going on walks and doing exercise and stuff. I lost a good amount of weight in the last year, and I've managed to keep it all. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see him point at the door for like half a second? It's like he wanted to say, oh, my wife has lost weight too, and we're eating healthy now. But he pulled back and he didn't say it. I wonder why that was, Phil. But in all seriousness, if you and your wife love each other and are soulmates and don't care what the other looks like, then mazel tov. I hope y'all are together forever. I really don't have anything bad to say about that. And that's probably the nicest thing I'm ever going to say to you, Phil, because you are a scumbag and you do deserve it. One other thing I noticed during that was him talking about his self-image and how he'll always think he's ugly. Phil, have you never gotten a haircut and walked out of the barber shop, looked in the mirror and said, damn, I look good, or damn, I got a nice ass cut today, and felt better about yourself? That's a natural thing. It happens to normal people, which is why I guess it's never happened to you, my friend. So after Weekend at Bernie's has his midlife crisis, we go to Tuesday night, and this was the infamous $0 stream. He got a $20 tip from Dick Trekker during the day, who said he wanted it to apply to the night stream. Phil then sat there for 2 hours and 15 minutes and didn't receive one single tip. Now this is the way it should be, and this is what you fucking deserve. Now after Tuesday night, we all knew how the Wednesday daytime stream was going to go, and would you imagine my shock when the first tip of the day, and it probably happened overnight, was $50 from Lisa Lou? Now who would have expected that? And I can just see the tip message now. Hey Phil, it's me OIC. I'm tipping as Lisa Lou, but here's my code word, so you know it's me. I love you, and I want to meet you in Tacoma someday. I heard that support was low last night, and so here's a tip so you can have a positive Wednesday. P.S. How's Ket doing? Remember when I had her profile picture on Kiwi Farms? That wasn't really me. I'll see you later. Literally. and since we're talking about that little bitch right now, let me go ahead and share something with y'all that I never really shared outside of Discord. So back when I was trying to get him to come out and talk publicly, he sent me this picture here. And he said I will be back to this in a few weeks. And I think I said something like, oh, the water looks beautiful. I didn't really know what to say because I knew he was full of shit. So I was just like, yeah, man, that's cool, whatever. But shout out to Fiona, who within 30 seconds of me posting this, found the exact same picture on the U.S. Naval website. I mean, gee, what a coincidence. This is how much of a loser this guy is. He tips Phil under hundreds of different names. He uploads videos of himself to YouTube using a voice changer pretending he's a girl. And he steals pictures off of government websites pretending he's the one taking them. And then I want you to remember that this is Phil's biggest fan. This is who he relies on the most. So the next time Phil goes on one of his, oh, detractors are sick in the head and they have fucked up lives, remember who he depends on every single day. And look what happens when that piece of shit doesn't show up. Phil finished the Wednesday night stream with $19. He even did 45 minutes of Q&A and it didn't matter. He was off on Thursday, so that takes us to the Friday daytime stream, in which Phil makes $62, with 50 of it coming from, you guessed it, Dumb and Dumber. That means that in 5 hours, everyone else tipped $12. And Friday night was no better, as the King of Hate pulled in $52, with 45 coming from Action Jackson and Dick Trekker, which leaves everyone else responsible for $7 measly. And if you notice at the bottom there, he got $15 in super chats the entire day. And after YouTube takes their 30% cut, it's $10.50. This is why he's been begging for people to step up their support on YouTube so much recently. $10 ain't gonna cut it. Saturday was also brutal. The day stream racked up $44 in tips, with 20 coming from 1 Minute Man and 24 coming from everyone else. So he streamed for 5 hours and didn't even hit the tier 1 tips goal. Bad pay pigs, very bad. Saturday night wasn't much better, as he only cleared $42, and once again, didn't even hit the tier 1 tips goal. That means he made a combined $86 in tips on a Saturday. This brings us to the last day we're covering, and this pretty much sums up his current state. On Sunday, July 23rd, Phil did a special react show of DSP versus the internet. And remember when he first started doing these special reaction streams? He would make like $200, $300, sometimes $400 a stream. And instead he made $54, with 50 of it coming from, you guessed it, the comedy team of Dumb and Dumber. That means that in 5 hours, everyone else tipped a grand total of $4. And that finally brings us to the Sunday night stream, where Phil made an abominable $37, with more than likely 28 coming from the same person. And if that was the case, it means that everyone else tipped $9 whole. Alright, and let's add up some numbers here. He streamed 7 full days, 14 streams overall, and he made $879 in tips. That breaks down to $125 per day, or $63 per stream. And like I said last week, $125 in tips per day is okay for the normal person, especially when it's just tips. But not for this fucking guy. He expects $100 per stream, which means he wants $200 per day. And for 6 months, or however long the vet streak went on, he was getting that and he became accustomed to it. Now, in the past, it would be like, yeah, okay, he can survive these lower tips for a little bit because he's going to get his YouTube or Twitch check. But his YouTube support has been going down the drain lately. It's why he's crying and begging so much for people to contribute in any method they like nowadays. Since when has he been doing that? It's always tips are more important right now. Tips help me pay my daily bills. He always has some kind of emergency that requires tips right now. But lately, he's been begging for 1 membership at a time. And if you don't give him that 1 membership, he might have to get the black shirt out, he might have to get the prayer hands ready, and we might even get some kind of emergency. And then it'll be just like 2017 all over again, and maybe he'll even get that groove back, vibe back. Let's fucking go.